Hey guys, what's up? It is me, MaligatorMom, and welcome back to the channel. This is video 2 of my Vlogmas 2020 series. Obviously, the content that I'm going to be putting out here in December for Vlogmas is a little different than my typical videos, but I hope you enjoy them just the same. So my next 12 videos through the next few weeks leading up to Christmas are going to be me just sharing some family traditions with you. This is one of them. We love to read Christmas stories, and so I figured that this video would be me and Riot reading some Christmas stories to you guys. So grab your kids, grab some popcorn and some hot cocoa, and settle in because we're about to read Charlie Brown, The Christmas Story. Heard. Give me kisses. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready to read the Christmas story? Okay. All right, get cozy. Settle in. We're gonna read. Good boy. Christmas time was here. Soft snowflakes floated down from the sky. The sweet sound of carols filled the air, and everyone felt happy. Well, almost everyone. I think there must be something wrong with me, Linus, Charlie Brown told his friend. Christmas is coming, but I'm not happy. I just don't understand Christmas, I guess. I'll always end up feeling depressed. You're the only person I know who can take a wonderful season like Christmas and turn it into a problem, Linus replied. Maybe Lucy's right. Of all the Charlie Browns in the world, you're the Charlie Browniest. Charlie Brown thought Linus might be onto something. He decided to go to Lucy's booth for some advice. 5 cents, please, Lucy greeted him. Charlie Brown dropped a nickel into Lucy's can. Lucy shook the can. I love hearing the beautiful sound of cold, hard cash. Now, what seems to be your trouble? I feel depressed, Charlie Brown told her. I think we'd better pinpoint your fears, said Lucy. If we can find out what you're afraid of, we can label it. Are you afraid of staircases? If you are, then you have climacophobia. Or maybe you have pantophobia. What's pantophobia? Asked Charlie Brown. The fear of everything, Lucy replied. That's it, Charlie Brown cried out. He shouted so loudly that Lucy flew off her chair. Actually, Lucy, my trouble is Christmas. Charlie Brown admitted, I just don't understand it. Instead of feeling happy, I feel sort of let down. Lucy knew what would help. You need to get involved. How would you like to be the director of our Christmas play? Charlie Brown smiled. He and Lucy made plans to meet at the auditorium. As Lucy went off, Snoopy walked by, holding a box of lights and decorations. Charlie Brown followed him to his doghouse. What's going on here? Charlie Brown asked his dog. Snoopy handed him a piece of paper. Charlie Brown began to read aloud. Finding the true meaning of Christmas. Win money, money. Spectacular, spooker, colossal neighborhood Christmas lights and display contest. Charlie Brown looked up from the paper and groaned. My own dog, gone commercial. I can't stand it. Thank you. Next, Charlie Brown ran into his sister, Sally. I've been looking for you, big brother. Will you please write a letter to Santa for me? Sally asked. Sally began telling Charlie Brown what she wanted him to write. Dear Santa Claus, how have you been? Did you have a nice summer? How is your wife? I have been extra good this year, so I have a long list of presents that I want. Please note the size and color of each item and send as many as possible. If it seems too complicated, make it easy on yourself. Just send money. How about 10s and 20s? 10s and 20s, Charlie Brown cried. That didn't seem like the true meaning of Christmas. At the auditorium, Lucy had an announcement. Quiet, everybody. Our director will be here any minute, and we'll start rehearsal. Director? What director? Asked Patty. Charlie Brown, Lucy replied. Oh no, we're doomed, said Violet. Here he comes, said Lucy. Attention, everyone. Charlie Brown addressed the cast, so no one listened to him. They were all dancing as Schroeder played his piano. "Stop the music," Charlie Brown shouted into his megaphone. "We're going to do this play, and we're going to do it right. Lucy, get out those costumes and scripts and pass them out." Riot boy. Come here. Come here. Come on. Good boy. Come on. All the way up. Come on. Come on. Oh, there's a good boy. Lay down. There's your piece of cheese. Good boy. Lucy walked up to Frida and gave her a script and a costume. "You're the innkeeper's wife." "Did innkeepers' wives have naturally curly hair?" Frida asked. Lucy walked over to Pigpen. "You're the innkeeper." Pigpen looked proud. "In spite of my outward appearance, I shall try to run a neat inn." Lucy went over to Snoopy. "You'll have to be all the animals in our play," Lucy told him. "Can you be a sheep?" "Baa!" bleated Snoopy. "How about a cow?" asked Lucy. "Moo!" mooed Snoopy. "How about a penguin?" asked Lucy. "Quack, quack, quack!" Snoopy waddled around on the stage. Soon all the parts had been handed out and it was time for Charlie Brown to direct. He asked Schroeder to set the mood for the first scene, but as soon as Schroeder started playing, everyone started dancing again. Lucy and Charlie Brown watched from the side of the stage. "Isn't it a great play?" Lucy asked. "It's all wrong," Charlie Brown told her. "Let's face it, we all know that Christmas is a big commercial racket," Lucy said. But Charlie Brown was determined. "Well, this is one play that's not going to be commercial." Thank you. "What do you want?" Lucy asked. "The proper mood," Charlie Brown responded. "We need a Christmas tree." Lucy thought this was a great idea. "A great big shiny aluminum Christmas tree. That's it." "I'll take Linus with me," said Charlie Brown. "The rest of you practice your lines." Charlie Brown and Linus made their way through the snow to the Christmas tree lot. There were trees in all sizes and colors, big, bigger, pink and purple and red. They were all made of metal or plastic. Gee, do they still make wooden Christmas trees? Linus wondered. And that's when Charlie Brown saw it, the perfect Christmas tree. "This little green one here seems to need a home," said Charlie Brown. But Linus wasn't so sure. "I don't know, Charlie Brown. Remember what Lucy said? This doesn't seem to fit the modern spirit." "I don't care," Charlie Brown said. "We'll decorate it and it will be just right for our play. Besides, I think it needs me." "We're back," Charlie Brown announced as he and Linus brought the little tree into the auditorium. The other kids couldn't believe what they were seeing. This tree was all wrong. "You were supposed to get a good tree," Lucy told Charlie Brown. "Can't you even tell a good tree from a poor tree?" Everyone laughed and walked away. Everyone except Linus. Charlie Brown turned to his friend. "I guess you were right, Linus. I shouldn't have picked this little tree. Everything I do turns into a disaster. I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about. Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?" "Sure, Charlie Brown," said Linus. "I can tell you what Christmas is all about." Linus walked into the center of the stage. A lone spotlight shone on him as he began to speak. "And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flocks by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which will be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, Glory unto God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. There was silence in the auditorium as Linus walked back to Charlie Brown. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown, he added. Charlie Brown thought about what Linus had said. He picked up the little tree and walked out of the auditorium. Charlie Brown looked up at the starry night sky. He finally understood the meaning of Christmas. Linus is right. I won't let all this commercialism ruin my Christmas. I'll take this little tree home and decorate it, and I'll show them it really will work in our play. Charlie Brown took his tree to a place where he knew there would be a lot of decorations, Snoopy's doghouse. He selected a shiny red ornament, but when Charlie Brown put the ornament on the tree, it collapsed. "I've killed it," Charlie Brown cried. "Everything I touch gets ruined." Good go. Charlie Brown walked off in despair. A few moments later, the other children arrived. "I never thought it was such a bad little tree," Linus said as he wrapped his blanket around its base. "It's not bad at all, really. Maybe it just needs a little love." Everyone began taking ornaments off Snoopy's doghouse. Soon, the little tree had been transformed into a festive Christmas tree. When Charlie Brown returned, he was stunned. "What's going on here?" he asked. "Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown," all the kids said. And then everyone began to sing, even Charlie Brown. The end. Come here. Or get down. So throughout the month of December, I'm going to be going live on TikTok, usually in the evenings around 6 p.m. Central. And we're gonna be reading Christmas stories all throughout the month of December, live on TikTok with the pups. So make sure you're following us there and come hang out, catch a few stories if you can.